So hello and welcome. My name is Allegra Elson. My pronouns are she, her, and I serve as Director of Training and Development with Vibrant Pittsburgh. We're excited today to share our community partner speaker session with you today, a conversation with UNCF, United Negro College Fund. With us is my colleague Matthew Yohe. He'll be monitoring the chat and also adding to the discussion. Today's session is part of our monthly Lunch and Learn series and our community partner speaker series. It brings together you, Vibrant Pittsburgh members, and guests from across industry and sector in an informal, interactive, and participatory atmosphere to collaborate and deepen knowledge. Please take a moment to say hello and introduce yourself in the chat. In a moment, I'll be introducing you to our speakers, Yolanda Roger Housey, Kevin Kentish, and also Alicia McCrae will be with us today. This session is being recorded and will be available on our member resources section of our website. Since today is a public session, it will also be set to public on our YouTube channel. Excuse me. If you are a Vibrant Pittsburgh member and need your member login, please let us know. As always, please check out our website at vibrantpittsburgh.org. Vibrant Pittsburgh is a premier economic development membership organization dedicated to supporting the growth and economic competitiveness of Pittsburgh as the region's central resource, spokesperson, and convener on workplace belonging and inclusion. Vibrant Pittsburgh's mission is to accelerate the business community towards equitable, inclusive, and diverse workplaces, creating a future-forward region. Vibrant Pittsburgh envisions a future where Pittsburgh employers offer inclusive workplaces that foster prosperity and belonging, making them a top choice for people of all backgrounds. As always, and because our discussion is participatory, we ask that you embrace the following community agreements and acknowledge that your attendance today signifies your commitment to these community agreements. It is our collective and personal responsibility to uphold them. So, seek to understand, actively listen before responding. Use I statements. Speak from your own experiences and feelings. This avoids generalizing about other people and communities that are not your own. Respect privacy. Respect the stories other people share and request permission before sharing those stories with others outside of our space. This is a learning space. Folks have questions. Let's be respectful of where everybody is on their journey and what questions they also might have today. And share the air. Make room for all voices to be heard, accept all modes of communication. And modes of communication today include the use of the chat, unmuting. We'll have some polling also, and there will be time for you to take notes. I'm going to take a quick moment to review our agenda. We started with some brief intros, and we'll expand on those in a moment. We're going to have a few questions for you to level set, and then we'll be turning things over to Yolanda, Kevin, and Alicia. Alicia is from the University of Pittsburgh, and will be talking with us about her experience with UNCF. We will have a question and answer period, but I encourage you to drop questions in the chat as they occur to you. They might be particularly salient in that moment when we're talking, depending on where we are in the conversation. So coming up next, I think many of you are familiar with our use of our polling and the use of Slido polling, but we have a question for you. And you can answer this question by using the QR code. You can join at slido.com and use that number underneath. But what we'd like to ask you is what words or thoughts come to mind when you hear United Negro College Fund? You can also put that in the chat. You can also unmute. But the Slido is anonymous, so we'd like you to think about what comes to mind when you hear United Negro College Fund. And we'll hold here for a moment as you're thinking about that. As we see those words get larger, we know that more than one of you have put those words in: opportunity, support. Okay, so we see opportunity, we see support, we see funding for Black students, and there's a question in there that I think definitely will be covered. Where does funding come from? Unity, excellence, educational opportunities, and also endangered too. So, yeah. Anything sort of jump out for you, either Kevin or Yolanda, or also Matthew or Alicia? What jumps out at you when you see this?
A couple of things. The first one for me would be funding for Black students. That's definitely one. Number two, where does the funding come from? And number three, excellence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Opportunity.
Opportunity. Yeah.
Inclusion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm sorry, Yolanda, did you say inclusion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you, everyone. This also gives our speakers something to keep in mind as they're talking with you. So let's take a moment to have a little bit of fun. So this is your chance at Jeopardy. We have 2 pop quizzes for you right now. And I'm very excited to say that thanks to our friends at UNCF, you have a chance to win some UNCF swag. You'll win a prize. And the way that we will do this is the very first person with the correct answer in the chat gets a prize. So I'm going to start the video. When we get to the answer point, I'll pause it, you drop your answer in, and then we'll see who our first winner is.
Each year, this organization, founded in 1944, awards scholarships worth more than $65 million, as it aids 37 HBCUs.
All right.
What is the United Negro College Fund?
You don't sound sure, but that's it. You're in the lead.
Okay. And Matthew, who's our winner?
Looks like the first correct answer to come through was Camille Golub.
Okay, Camille. All right. So we think that one was a gimme. We hope that one was a gimme. Let's do one.
Each year, this organization, founded in 1944.
Let's talk about this one. Okay, no checking your Google, no DuckDuckGo, no checking. Just do this on your own, please. Okay, so how many students does UNCF support annually every year? Is it 100,000, 25,000, 50,000, 5,000? How many students does UNCF support annually? I see a lot of answers coming in. I'll let those answers keep coming in for I'll give you another 30 seconds. All right, another 20 seconds. All right, the answer is, is everybody ready? All right, the answer is 50,000. UNCF supports 50,000 students annually. All right, do we have a winner, Matthew?
Looks like it. So the first person to submit C as the correct answer looks to be Clinton Kerr.
All right, Clinton. All right. So we know both of you, we have your emails. We will get that swag to you from our friends at UNCF. So with that, it's a great segue. It is my pleasure to introduce you today to Yolanda Rogers-Housey. She is the dedicated Director of Development for UNCF in Pittsburgh and West Virginia, where she passionately champions the cause of historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs. As a co-founder of the Stepping into Service, SIS movement alongside Keisha Knight Pulliam, she has played a pivotal role in establishing scholarships that support and uplift these vital institutions. And we also have Kevin Kentish. Am I pronouncing your last name correct?
Yeah, Kentish is right.
Oh,
Got
Kentish.
it.
He is the Regional Director for Workplace Initiatives for the East Coast, and he's been with UNCF for 11 years. He is a graduate of St. John's University, and he loves working with youth and giving back to the community. So welcome, Yolanda and Kevin. I am turning things over to you. It's a pleasure to have you here with our audience. And so I will go into the next slide unless there's more introduction you'd like to give yourself.
No,
Okay.
I first would like to say how excited I am. I'm very competitive, so the game portion has really gotten me has really gotten me excited here. I wish I was kind of competing, but that wouldn't be fair. But before I dive into my slide presentation, I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that I come from a world of corporate America. I spent over 15 years with Merck Pharmaceuticals. And then I pivoted and went into the film and television industry. And although those things were cool, I made lots of money. I worked on the marketing team for the first Black Panther film. But this job here, this role that I'm playing now is more, it is more meaningful to me. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
So we can go into the first slide.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so this is, I'm just completed a year. So I took this job again because I'm a product of a UNCF school, Tougaloo College. And again, it just meant a great deal to me to carry the torch. But more importantly, what I did not know before working for UNCF was the connection to Pittsburgh. So I'm excited to share with your audience and I'm hoping that they go back to their communities and to their corporations and places of work to share the word about UNCF, that UNCF has a connection with Pittsburgh. So today, as we come together to support our workplace campaign, I want to highlight pivotal moments in the education history. Again, the Pittsburgh connection to UNCF. In 1943, Dr. Frederick Patterson, a visionary leader, he was the president of Tuskegee University at the time. He took a bold step that would change the landscape of education for African Americans. He penned a letter, the famous letter, to the Pittsburgh Courier, proposing an alliance for HBCUs to band together to raise funds. His vision was simple yet powerful. Strength is numbers. He believed that uniting and these institutions could amplify their appeal for financial support and for an effect and a real change. Okay, you can go to the next slide. So as we again continue to explore the workplace campaign, today I want to just again share an inspiring story that highlights the profound impact that we can make through this workplace campaign, giving campaign. The Rockefellers, as everybody knows that name, and their dedication to the United Negro College Fund. In 1882, John D. Rockefeller and his wife, Laura Spelman Rockefeller, made a significant donation to the Atlanta Female Baptist Seminary, which was renamed Spelman College in Laura's honor 2 years later. This set a powerful precedent for investing in education and empowering future generations. Fast forward to 1944, John D. Rockefeller II played a crucial role in founding UNCF, connecting with Dr. Frederick Patterson with potential donors and connecting Dr. Patterson to his network. So let me go back to Spelman College and share a personal story. Both of my two boys are at Morehouse, which is right next door to Spelman. And these, again, are also a part of the UNCF network. So as we explore the workplace campaign, just like to draw inspiration from the Rockefellers, this gives us an opportunity to band together, and together we can honor their legacy and invest in the educational opportunity that shape the leaders of tomorrow. So having said all of that, I want to pass it on to Kevin.
Well, and is this, just want to give you the opportunity to give Pittsburgh another glow up too, and that you'll be having an event coming up in June too. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you, Allegra.
Sure.
And what you're seeing here is this an exclusive event that's coming up in June 25, this coming June. Not quite sure the date yet. We're currently planning this now, but obviously we're always looking for corporate sponsorships to help raise money to give out these scholarships that we give out every year, and also in supporting the 37 HBCUs and the UNCF family.
Great. All right. Well, that's great to hear. And I want to just take a pause here before we turn things over to Kevin. If there's any questions from the audience around the history of UNCF, or even anything you'd like to share about your connection with HBCUs or your connection with UNCF, I'll just take a moment here to see if there's any questions or comments.
Thank you, Allegra.
Sure.
And if I can also mention as well, I would be remiss to share that we're still looking for anybody who's interested in sharing their passion for education. We're looking for some leadership council members.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that would be great. That's something that we can send out with our resources, as we send out, if you have information about that, as we send out information after this session, we'd be happy to include that. So, yeah. Great. Well, then, so I'm going to turn things over to Kevin. And Kevin, you just let me know when you'd like me to hit the next slide, please.
Sure. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, I should say, everyone. Kevin Kentish, Regional Director for Workplace Initiatives here at United Negro College Fund. First and foremost, I would love to thank Matthew and Allegra. Hats off to you. We really appreciate you giving us an opportunity to speak to your members, to talk about UNCF, and to educate folks on UNCF and what we do, how we do it, and when we do it. So definitely, first and foremost, I want to thank the two of you for all the hard work, the back and forth, the emails, the decks, everything that we've been through over the last couple of months. Definitely appreciate your time and your support for UNCF. Thank you to all of your members who have joined today to hear about UNCF. And I'm here today to talk about UNCF and our workplace giving campaigns and the importance of what workplace and workplace engagement, how much of an important role that plays in UNCF and us really supporting not only our students, but our schools as well. Go ahead, Allegra. Next slide, please. As we all know, education changes the trajectory of children's lives. Right now in the world that we live in, an education is an important thing. It's going to take kids to the next level. And majority of the kids that we deal with, that we work with, a lot of the families that we support, these kids are the first in their families sometimes to graduate high school, much less to even go to college. So again, the time, the effort, the support, the infrastructure, everything that UNCF provides to these kids is an asset. It's something that they cannot get at home. It's something that they cannot get a lot of times within their own community settings. So an organization, an institution, a pillar of an institution at UNCF, we play a major role in making sure that these kids have an opportunity to go to school, to stay in school, to graduate from school. And now as we move into 2025, 26, 27 and onward, we also have to make sure that we're preparing them for corporate America. We have to prepare them for an opportunity to be productive in a corporate setting, to be the next CEO, to be the next vice president and head of whatever it may be in whatever field that they're going into. So again, I just want to preface that as we start off, the role that we play, it's a huge role. We fill the shoes and we take the burdens off of families, off of communities, off of schools that they really could not handle. We take that and we handle it. And for about 80 years or so, UNCF has been doing that and we've been good at it. It's something that we do. And I'm proud to say that I am an employee of UNCF and that I can support the future of our students. Next slide, please.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right. As we can see here from this slide, the impact that HBCUs have on college education. Over 62% of our students, like I said, and their families are the first ones to go to school. So again, understanding the trajectory of school, any of you who have teenage kids that are going to school or currently have kids that are in college, trust and believe. I know you understand it is not an easy road. FAFSA, applications, paying for, you name it, college visits, tours, it can be crazy. And again, this is where we kind of come in and fill those spots and fill those missing areas for these students and kind of help them along the path. Next slide, please. Our workplace giving campaigns provide an opportunity for employers to allow employees to support UNCF through one-time gifts, payroll deductions. Companies can conduct a workplace giving campaign and select major organizations to which employees can designate contributions. Workplace giving campaigns also provide opportunities for corporate volunteers, corporate matching gift programs, and offer a broad-based support for what we do here at UNCF. And the reason I mentioned that is our workplace campaigns is our number 3 revenue generator within our country, within our organization. What we do is UNCF has a core 37 schools that we support. Those 37 schools get a distribution of funds from UNCF every June. That distribution of funds that we get that through unrestricted funds that we raise. And that's what keeps a lot of these schools' doors open between the ending of school to the around October when Pell Grants and financial aid and loan money and all that stuff starts to roll into the schools. So the distribution of funds that we get to our 37 universities and colleges, that pays for the asphalt to go down. That puts Wi-Fi in the libraries. That adds books into the libraries. That's painting dorms. That's making sure that when your kids go into a dorm, there's no mold, there's no mildew. They can clean. They can do all the things that they have to do in preparation for these students to come in. The distribution that we give to them every year in June, that's what keeps the doors of our schools open. So it's very important that people understand that the role UNCF plays, like I said, is bigger than just, giving away scholarships to kids. It's a role, capacity building, technology support and building, especially during COVID. We had to help schools and students with technology, with Wi-Fi, with computers, you name it, we were involved in it. So again, this is a very important piece to what UNCF does outside of just, again, like I said, creating scholarships, which is great. And that's what we're good at. And that's what we do. But there is a process to the progress of doing that. And a lot of it comes from what we're talking about here today. Next slide. Black History Month. We're right here. This is our time of the month. It's one of our busiest times of the month. And again, we want to continue to celebrate Black accomplishment and Black achievements throughout the country. But we also want to celebrate the schools and the kids that go to the schools. And I know I saw here someone earlier mentioned supporting Black students. UNCF does more than support Black students. And I want to mention that during Black History Month because sometimes there's a misnomer that UNCF is only about the HBCUs. They only support Black kids. We support everyone. Majority of our scholarships are need-based scholarships. If you have a need, you fit the criteria for one of the 500 scholarships that we have, you will get that money. Not only that, but there's at least one UNCF scholar on about 1,298 campuses across the country. So if you're going to Howard, you can get a scholarship. If you're going to Pitt, as we have a young lady here today, Alicia, she's going to talk about it today, you can get a scholarship. If you're going to Princeton, Yale, you can receive UNCF money. So it's just not about the HBCUs and Black kids and Black schools. We support kids in general, students. We support it. If you have a need and you fit the criteria for whatever scholarship you're applying for, you will get it. We support Hispanics. We support Asian Island Pacifics. We are diversified. And I really want to put that out there because again, a lot of people, You know, they look at us and they say, oh, you're only about Black kids. You don't support others. We support everyone. We have a UPS scholarship that's open to all students, trade school, professional studies, colleges. We have a Fidelity scholarship, which again is open to everyone. It's broad-based, it's need-based. There is criteria that goes with it. But if you're African-American, if you're Caucasian, if you're Indian, if you're Asian, you name it, if you're polka dot and purple and pink, and you qualify, you will be able to get into that. So I just want to, Bertie, put that out there because a lot of folks really think that's all we support. And it's bigger than that. The picture is bigger. The mission is bigger. It's about our kids. It's about the youth. It's about the future that we are trying to really home in on and grow and develop for the future. Next slide, please. Our workplace campaigns. We run lots of workplace campaigns with various organizations and companies across the globe. Anywhere from JP Morgan Chase, right back down to mom and pop stores, franchises, you name it. And our workplace campaigns is a great way to engage employee to engage employer. So it's a great way for them to fill their philanthropic goals because we can come in as the middle person and kind of help that along. Who better than UNCF? You know, we are great at what we do, and I hate bragging about it, but we're good at it. We support a lot of kids. The mission is wonderful, and we have the statistics, we have the credibility, we have the years of experience. So again, it makes it a really easy fit for a lot of employers to bring us in, especially around Black History Month, Juneteenth. And a lot of our organizations and companies, they run open campaigns. So it's all year round. They want to talk about UNCF and celebrate the work that we do. And like I said, it's a great way for us to engage employer and employee and really bring people together for one common cause. Another great thing that we do with our workplace campaigns is matching gifts. A lot of our companies and organizations will match donations from their employees to UNCF. Some organizations go as much as 5-to-1. So again, that's a huge help for what we do in regards to our fundraising arena. Another benefit of what we do here at UNCF with our workplace campaigns, it helps us to structure, to really support our member institutions. Those are the 37 core schools that we support. And that's through unrestricted funds like I talked about. That's the money that we raise that goes back into that formula that gets distributed every June. And another great thing about our workplace campaigns, it fosters a sense of diversity. It brings people from all walks of life because it's regular working people. It's not the CEOs. And I know a lot of people say, oh, UNCF, you just got $10 million trillion the other day. Yes, we did, but that's a one-time gift. It does not come regularly, trust and believe. I wish it did, because then we'll be able to support those 100,000 scholarships that we had in the quiz there. We could get to that level if we were getting that kind of money. And a lot of times also, when you see or you read about those big gifts, they're restricted. They're restricted to a program or an initiative that company or organization says, here's the money for. So again, it doesn't necessarily help everyone on a broad base. Our workplace campaigns, that helps everyone on a broad base. And like I said, it fosters diversity. It fosters the feeling of we all belong, whether you're white, you're Black, you're Asian, it doesn't matter, Hispanic, we're all one. We're all working. We're all trying to contribute. We're all trying to help one another. And it also helps us with volunteers. UNCF, again, a lot of people think you're a big organization. We run our offices with 2 people sometimes. We have an administrative assistant and a lot of times an associate assistant. Yolanda, she's responsible for the entire Pittsburgh. And within her office in Pennsylvania, there's a regional director and an administrative director for the entire state. I'm one person. I have 13 offices within our 24 offices that I manage. So again, we do a lot with less. That's where volunteers come in, and having opportunities to talk today on a lunch and learn such as this, having engagements with our workplace campaigns and being able to engage people of all walks of life, that helps us because now we can actually get volunteers to come in and support initiatives such as Yolanda's event that she's going to have in June. We need people to come in and help, put away coats and direct people to their seats and do all those various things and volunteer to help us, whether it's an event such as that. We do walks. We have a lot of different opportunities and college fairs that we cover, and we cannot be everywhere all the time. So again, these engagements, these opportunities to present on a lunch and learn, or again, to work with people in a workplace setting is huge for us because that's where we get a lot of the bodies. I think Yolanda mentioned earlier, she's looking for leadership council people. This is where we get them from. These kind of engagements of talking to folks with lunch and learns, being out there in the community, talking to folks that are working in corporate America and with various corporate entities that have a passion for what we do, and we can engage them and bring them on board, again, to help us to understand sometimes the lay of the land, depending where we are, but also to support us and help us with our donations, help us with volunteers, and also to open doors in certain areas where we can necessarily are not able to open those doors. Next slide, please. Our workplace campaigns are ran by the people. So again, it's liaisons within special organizations and companies. UNCF will come in, we'll work with those liaisons because they know their demographic and their environment within their companies and corporations better than we do. And we will work with you to set up a campaign. Some people do something as small as email blasts to their employees, and some go as far as having a gala. I just came back from Chicago with doing the suburban charter schools in Chicago, and they kicked off their workplace campaign with a 1,300 person gala, which was last Friday. And they utilized that as a fundraiser to kind of fuel their scholarship and to create buzz around their workplace campaign. And so again, it can vary based on what we're doing and how we're doing it. But again, UNCF will come in, we'll work with you. We set up web pages for you to give. So therefore, we take the burden off of companies and organizations that they don't necessarily have to run a campaign. We can provide real-time reports. And again, it's all really about engagement, really engaging your employees, getting to know them, talking to them on a one-on-one basis, providing information. We provide scholarship information. We provide financial aid information. We provide how to apply on our webpage information. We also do a lot of work and advocacy work outside of just scholarships on Capitol Hill. So we're doing a lot of work within communities as well as in Washington, D.C., trying to get things such as Pell Grants increased and trying to get, as you know right now, loan forgiveness. That's something that we're also dealing with and trying to work with here and there. So again, it's bigger than just scholarships, and a lot of these opportunities and engagement opportunities, such again, like I said, this Lunch and Learn, our workplace campaigns, it allows us to get out there and kind of do this work on a broader basis. Next slide, please. Our workplace events are really cool. People, like I said, people take it different ways, but they're very cool. They're not pressure. They're not transactional, because a lot of people sometimes worry if we invite UNCF, they're coming to ask us for money. No, we want to talk about what we do. We want to talk about our scholarships. We want to talk about our events. We want to talk about things such as our workplace campaigns, non-transactional, and they're fun. So again, we work with our companies and organizations. People do rallies and kickoffs and galas. People do ice cream socials. People raise money sometimes just wearing paraphernalia and things of that nature, dress down days and wear your jeans to work day. We have people that even go as far as some of our school campaigns where they gather old clothes, bring it all together into the schoolyard, and then give it away to a consignment company. The consignment company, of course, pays for the pounds, and then that money is turned over to us. So people get creative in creative ways to do things to help us and to assist us, and again, engage the community, because what we do with workplace is about our communities. It's about that community where we're at. It's about the economic impact. It's about the impact of our students in that area and helping those particular students and those school boards or whatever it may be where we're at. So again, we try to make it as fun as possible. We play trivia games, Jeopardy and Family Feud and all kinds of stuff. But again, we want to make it interactive. We want to make it fun for an employee, because if they're going to take their lunch break, again, some places get 30, 45 minutes. You don't want to waste that talking to somebody when you could be eating. So we want to make sure we engage people the right way. Again, you took this time. We want to make sure we try to give away some swag to make it, again, you taking your time out of your busy schedule to help us, to talk to us, to gain information from us. The least we can do is try to make it as fun as possible. And that's some of the things that we do with our workplace campaigns to, again, make it less pressure, non-transactional, and really engaging for our organizations and companies. Next slide, please. Again, a lot of the things we do here, we do it around theme-based events. So Black History Month, Juneteenth. We're getting ready to start a Women's Month campaign. We try to do a lot of things also around the beginning of school. So whether it be back to school, and sometimes also we do a lot of work with the unions. So we try to celebrate the unions in September. So we try to do a lot of theme-based campaigns, again, to make them a lot easier for people to get involved in and get engaged with. A lot of these things are heartstrings for some organizations and companies, so they feel like, yes, I need to participate in Black History Month. Yes, I want to support women in leadership, whatever it may be, whatever their philanthropic goal is or mission may be. So we try to do a lot of that stuff around these events and around some of these theme-based events that are going on throughout. Next slide, please. UNCF and social media. We do a lot of social media stuff now, which everyone is doing. So we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, you name it. I think we have a page pretty much on there as a national page, and we also have individual office pages. So for those that don't know, we have 24 offices across the country. We are a national organization. So we do a lot of work together, and we also do a lot of work separately within those communities where we rest in. And again, we're everywhere. As you can see, we have Coco Golf, who just donated some money to us. We do a lot of work with the Combined Federal Campaign. You see that right there, CFC. So that's all the federal employees across the country. We have a campaign that we run with all the federal agencies. And from time to time, you'll see on our social media different blurbs, press releases, videos from our events, pictures. You'll even see our students a lot of times on there as well. We like to publicize our students and get them out there, because who better to tell a story about UNCF than the kids who are living, again, not being able to pay for dorms or not being able to feed themselves. You'll be surprised some of the things that these kids go through. We run programs such as food insecurity programs, because kids sometimes take out money and they forget they got to eat. So you pay for tuition, you pay for room and board, you got your books. You also need to eat for the next 6 months. Some of them can't afford to eat, and they're 1,000 miles away from home. So again, programs of that level are certain of the things that we're currently involved in. We do things from capacity building. We're also in regards to the STEM world. We have a huge STEM scholarship, the Fund 2 scholarship, $365 million for STEM scholars that we currently have running. You name it, we're currently involved in it. We're changing with the times. As times have moved along, we're trying to move along with those times so we don't get rolled over. And we're still, at the end of the day, we're still trying to support students. And again, it's not really just Black students. It's just not Black schools. It's students in general. It's young youth. It's the youth. It's men and women. And we'll go to the next slide, but we have we have a testimony to what we do. We have one of our dividends, as we say, online today. And again, the money that you invest in UNCF, she's here today to talk about it. So again, if you say, oh, I'm giving my money away, I don't know where it's going. Today we have proof of where your money goes to. And as you can see from this slide, when we say why to invest, $70 can help a kid buy supplies. $100 can play for PPE. Again, some kids are still living in a COVID world. They were affected by COVID. They still walk around with masks and gloves, and they're still affected by these things, even though we're almost 5 years past it or still in it, however you want to look at it. Again, not really trying to get into that realm, but it exists with some of our kids. $200 buys a laptop. $400, like I just said, secures a meal plan so they can eat for 6 months every day, and make sure while they're feeding the brain, they got to feed the body as well. Otherwise, the brain won't work. $1,000 room and board, $2,000, and some of our schools, $2,000 can pay a year of tuition for a student to get an education. So again, when we think about that cup of coffee, when we're thinking about some of the things that we're doing, you know, $10 a day, 5 days a week is $50. You throw $20 on there, we can actually get some pens and pencils for a kid and help them out. So again, when we talk about UNCF, I want to end and I want to turn it over to Alicia. But again, it's a great thing that we do. Mine is a terrible thing to waste, but it's a hell of a thing to invest in. And that dividend is the young lady I want to introduce right now. Her name is Alicia McCray. She's from the University of Pittsburgh. And Alicia, you take it over.
Thank you so much. It's going to be hard to talk after that, but I will try. So my name is Alicia McCray, and today I want to give you a brief overview of my academic journey and my life. So I am a Pittsburgh native, and I was a part of the last graduating class of Pittsburgh Peabody High School in 2011. When I graduated from high school, I was at the top of my class. I was number 3, and I ended up with a full ride to Penn State University. However, after my first year at Penn State as a first-generation student, I realized that I wasn't really ready to attend college, and I ended up stepping away to enter the workforce. I started working at UPMC at the age of 19 and worked my way from the welcome desk of Children's Hospital to managing urology office at McGee Women's Hospital by the age of 25. Along the way, I got married, I had 2 children, and I bought a home. And in 2019, I decided I wanted to go back to school and pursue medicine. And I applied then. But when I did apply, I got into Duquesne University, but funding was a barrier for me. And as an older student, many people weren't really willing to take the risk to fund me, especially an older student who had stepped away from school for over 10 years to become a doctor. So I ended up starting my education at Duquesne with a private loan and a dream in my faith. After my first year, I began attending the UNCF webinars, and I found out that they had scholarships that would be able to fund me at Duquesne University. And so after applying for for a few months, I was awarded over the next 2 years, I was awarded 4 scholarships that equaled over $50,000 to support my studies at Duquesne. Last fall, I graduated with a degree in molecular biology with minors in biochemistry and psychology. And now I am a student at the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine pursuing a master's in biomedical sciences, and I am preparing to apply to medical school next year. UNCF didn't just fund my education, it gave me an opportunity to pursue a better future for myself and for my family. They took the chance on me, and for that, I am forever grateful. So looking forward to the future. I hope to obtain my medical degree and hopefully be attending here at Children's Hospital Pittsburgh once again. So I hope it will be like a full circle moment for me.
Alicia, you're making me cry again. I'm so proud of you. I just want everybody to know I'm so proud of her. And this is a testament of what we do. And although I'm not feeling well today, this right here, this story, this testimony makes it all worth it. And just as she said, she was a non-traditional student. And I would be remiss if we did not share that we give out scholarships to parents. Sometimes I'm talking to parents about their students, about their babies going to school, and find out that they are going back to school themselves, or they're going to graduate school, and they find out that they can become a recipient of a UNCF scholarship. And just to make it very clear that we give out scholarships now to trade school, because we realize that some students are not interested in just going to a traditional 4-year college. So we give out scholarships to community college as well as trade schools. So I just wanted to, again, congratulate Alicia. Again, I say it out loud. I'm very proud of you. And she stepped away from her job today just to be with us. So again, I thank you.
And I also want to piggyback that also and let you know, military. We also take care of the military. In some of our schools, especially down here in Florida where I am, Florida Memorial, Edwin Waters University, they offer free tuition to military service members who are back and want to pursue their education. A lot of that stuff that they do, they also work with us on there for funding. So again, we don't leave anybody out. We're covering all angles. We have the kids, all colors, all sizes, all shapes, military, returning families, older students, you name it, we're here to take care of them. And again, like you've seen with Alicia, that's a wonderful story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you, Alicia. We greatly appreciate the time that you took to be with us here today, and we really appreciate hearing your story because, it sort of didn't occur to me as an older student that there would be less available to you in terms of help, and also that folks don't, shall we say, don't want to take a chance on you because you're quote unquote older and you have a family. And so I'm really happy to hear that UNC was there for you and excited about what's next for you. So congratulations. This is great. So
Thank you.
yeah. So thank you again. Folks, we want to open things up for questions. I always have questions. Matthew always has questions, but we know that you, our attendees, have questions. So as I start to take a look over on my questions, I want to encourage all of you to drop some questions in the chat, or if you want to unmute and even give a little extra shout out to Alicia, please do. I'm just going to take a moment to reshare my screen and check out what questions we have for Kevin and Yolanda. Okay. So there, Kevin and Yolanda, there is a question in the chat that asks, what steps should we take if we want to learn more about workplace giving?
Sure. I will definitely, one way is definitely contacting myself and Yolanda, and we can provide our contact information in the chat. The second way would be to visit our website, www.uncf.org. That's actually the place where you get all the information about us. So we actually have a really cool web page. You can visit our webpage and find out information about all our offices. You can also visit our webpage and you can click scholarships. So any of you who may have need information on scholarships, at the top of it, you click the scholarship tab. It's a very interactive drop-down box that comes in, and we can actually send you alerts. So if you fill out all the information, what your criteria is, what the need is, the majors, et cetera, we can actually send you alerts when scholarships open up that fit your criteria. So we kind of make it really easy, especially nowadays with these kids. They can get a little quick text or whatever it is from them to let them know, hey, look, go fill out that application, is now available. But pretty much all the information that you will need about our organization, as well as all of our offices. If you would like to find out about stuff within Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania region, you'll just click our PA office. You'll find out all the information that you need to know about Yolanda and all the endeavors that she have going on right now in Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Kevin. There's another question in the chat. They said it might be a silly question. It is not a silly question. I did hear you say this, but here's the question. Does UNCF support students who go to trade schools or strictly colleges and universities?
No, as we were just saying, Camille, when you go on the website, it's very, very friendly. Like it's very easy. You set up a profile, and as Kevin was saying, on your landing page, it tells you. So they give out scholarships. We give out scholarships every month. So on your landing page, they say these are the scholarships that are deadlined in January. And they list them, and you it's like shopping. And then once you find a scholarship that's applicable to you, and because your profile is already filled out, and because you've already uploaded an amazing essay, and by the way, you do not have to have this crazy high GPA. So this is critical for you to understand. You don't have to have this crazy GPA in order to get a scholarship. If you present a need based on your FAFSA, then 9 times out of 10 you qualify. So what you do is you just click on your scholarship, and then it just click automatically. Everything is uploaded. I'm literally less than 5 minutes. You can apply for a scholarship because everything is there.
And just for, sorry.
And no, what I was going to say, I share all that with you to say there are scholarships for trade schools. There are scholarships for community colleges as well. They're all there. There are a variety of scholarships.
And just for everyone to know, we manage about 500 various scholarships. Now, every scholarship has a different criteria. So again, every organization, company, individual that creates a scholarship with us, they set the criteria. So we have scholarships for kids with a 2.0, and we got scholarships for a kid that's a 4.0. So it varies. So like Yolanda said, you don't have to be, a rocket scientist in order to get scholarship money. You can be a regular average student that's just looking for an opportunity to go to school, and we can help you because all of our scholarships are different. So there's different criterias. There's different major requirements. Some of them, there's difference. Just trust and believe. If you go on there and you look at them, you'll see they're different. We have different majors, different places. There are different criteria for the schools you can go to, the schools you can't go to. So it's a whole variety of different opportunities for folks, but we help all. So again, like Yolanda said, if there's not you're not looking to go to Princeton, but you want to learn a trade and do HVAC, we can help you do that as well. There's a couple of scholarships for that, and it covers the gamut. 2.0 to 4.0, we have something for everyone.
Yeah, that's great. And I think you both mentioned while you have 37 core schools, you have over 1,200 schools where students are attending. And I think that's one of the, the myths of the, well, it's only an HBCU or it's only these schools. It's what you've both said is that it's a wide variety of schools, wide variety of scholarships for everybody.
Yep.
So
We have a financial responsibility for the 37 core schools. Like I said, we are responsible for keeping their doors open, but we give money for kids to go to any school they want to go to. It's there. The opportunity is there for them.
Great. There was a question in the chat. I live in another county. How can I become involved with UNCF? Is your website the best place to start, or another? And I want to clarify, Vanessa, if you could let us know another county in Pennsylvania. Is that correct? I would assume. Oh yeah, she said in Pennsylvania.
Well, we can do two things. We're going to put our information in the chat, so you can definitely reach out to Yolanda directly. She is our Pittsburgh, PA representative all day, every day. And again, she works with our Pennsylvania office in a whole. So if there's anything that you would need or any kind of assistance within the Pennsylvania market, you can definitely feel free to reach out to Yolanda. And I'm available as well. So like I said, we'll put our information there and people can feel free to reach out to us. If they have any volunteer needs, assistance with anything that we can provide you, we're definitely here to help out.
Yeah, I work remotely from Pittsburgh. We don't have an office here. I'm a part of the Philadelphia office. So I don't know which county you're from. But I'm closest here to Pittsburgh. And obviously we have, Mercer County. Yes, right here. I'm right here.
Yeah. Great. And Matthew just dropped in your emails in the chat right now. So
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, Matthew.
Great. All right. And also Alicia did put a comment in the chat as a student, UNCF's application is the most straightforward application I've completed. So I think that's great information for folks to have too. And it's important that these applications be straightforward. Sometimes I think, they're complicated because they're trying to, make it difficult sometimes. That's my personal opinion. Sorry, everyone. So I'm glad to hear that it's straightforward.
You're right. We lose out on a lot of kids that leave applications incomplete because it just takes whether too much time or it asks for too much information immediately. So we try to streamline it so it's easy for someone to do. We actually made it so that kids could get on a phone and do the applications while wherever they're at. As you see, Alicia's nodding her head because she knows exactly. Bingo, bango, bingo. It's in and off you go.
That's great. That's important. I think that's very, very important. So there's a question in the chat, which I think goes to initially when we were looking at that first slide of what do you think about when you think about UNCF? Somebody put up the word endangered. And then the question in the chat, I think, speaks to this. How will today's climate affect the support given to students, or will it affect it? Is UNCF endangered, or, how are you all doing in today's climate?
I think we're all in danger. Nonetheless, we're second to the federal government in giving out the most aid to students. And those 37 schools that we've been speaking of are those private small institutions that are not federally funded. However, we do rely on corporate donors such as your audience here, Allegra. And we know, and that's what I mean when I say we're all affected, because we know that they are affected by some of the things. So we have to get creative. We have to understand the climate that we're in, and continue to put forth all of the effort and making sure we partner with people that believe in what we believe in. And Kevin, I don't know if you would like to add something more to that.
Yeah. I guess in this climate, I guess the key word is the pivot. And I follow Ryan Clark and those guys over there. I know you guys know him from the Steelers. I follow his podcast, and it's a pivot. As you get older in this world that we're currently living in, constantly have to pivot, and that's what UNCF is prepared to do. At the end of the day, we're not going to stop helping kids. They're the future. We're going to continue to help students. We're going to continue to help schools. We're going to continue to help students. We're going to continue to have that economic impact and that community impact, that grassroots impact that we've had for 80 years. Are we going to have to maybe tweak some things and move some things around and do some things? Yeah, we all have to. As we see with the federal government, if you go, you don't know if you're going to work and it's going to be your last day or you're going to have another day. So again, we're all on this pivot. We're waking up to eggs that are $15 a dozen. So it's a pivot. We got to figure it out. We got to make moves. And one of the good things about it is we have a good leader, Dr. Michael Lomax. We have some really good executive leadership that is working hard to make sure that UNCF will be around for another 80 years. So are we endangered? I'm positive. I'm always, glass half full type of person, and I'm always about the kids. So for me, if we're endangered, then the kids are endangered, and we don't need our future endangered. They have enough issues and problems going on in this world for kids to worry about, then they don't have to worry about also going to school. So again, yeah, we're going to continue to push forward. Like I said, the pivot is, I guess, going to be the word, and tweaking and moving and being, fluid. Everything's fluid nowadays.
Evolving is also
going to evolve. Whichever word you would like to use with it is where we're going to go. But at the end of the day, we like Yolanda said, and I think that was key. We want to try to continue to connect with people, organizations, companies that continue to believe in the youth, continue to believe in the futures of these kids, and continue to believe in what UNCF does, and continue to help and support and do the things that are needed. Because at the end of the day, these are all our kids. Regardless of color, creed, sexuality, you name it, these are all our kids. They need our help, and it's a village it takes to raise them, regardless of who you are, where you come from, what your beliefs are. We all need the help. So we're going to continue to help and do the right thing, and hopefully everything works out for us. And I think everything, and I know everything will work out, because like I said, our leadership is one of a kind, and we're still going to push forward, and we're going to be around for another 80 years. We'll have another Alicia coming up here in 23,000 talking about how UNCF helped her get into robotics or something crazy like that.
Dr. McCray.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Her
yes.
kids will probably be up here talking about, yeah, my mom got a scholarship, we got a scholarship, et cetera, because again, it's generational, it's legacy type of stuff that we do. And that's what we're going to continue to do.
Great. Yeah. Thank you. I'll just hold here for a moment, see if there are any other questions, comments. Alicia, was there anything you wanted to add? We're coming up on the 1 o'clock hour, and I want to say thank you to everyone who has come today. I have a couple more announcements, but I want to, leave, our parting words either to Alicia or to Yolanda or to Kevin. But Alicia, anything else you wanted to add to the conversation?
No, I guess I can just say thank you to UNCF, and I just really want to make sure that people do know that UNCF is for everyone. And I think that was something that I learned firsthand, through my experience. But even whenever I try to share the word with other people, I do see people pull back and have a little bit of reserve because they don't know it is for everyone. So I think if you didn't get anything from this, just know that UNCF is here to support everyone, and that you should go apply.
Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that messaging. Yeah, it's very, from the chat we have, thank you, what you do is so important. So I second that to everyone. So thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Alicia. This has been a wonderful, energetic, I'm energized, I'm excited conversation. So I really appreciate that. Kevin or Yolanda, anything you want to do to wrap things up?
No,
Yolanda
I would like to
Pittsburgh strong.
Yeah, I would like to thank Vibrant Pittsburgh. You guys are doing an amazing work, your membership. So I just look forward to working with you guys. I feel the energy. I feel it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much to our speakers, to Yolanda Rogers-Housey, to Kevin Katish, to Alicia McCray. It's been a pleasure to be with you in community today. And just as a reminder to folks, the Vibrant Index 6.0 is open. It is open until March 7th. We encourage everyone to check it out and to also fill it out. It is open. It is free to all organizations within Southwestern Pennsylvania. It really is that diagnostic tool to help you increase the inclusive practices that you are doing within your organizations. And as always, we've got Lunch and Learn is coming up. So next month in March, we'll be having a lunch and learn around inclusive meetings, creating collaborative meeting spaces. And then we will also have another community partner speaker series, and that is with the YWCA. And we will be talking about pay equity with some really wonderful panelists. Perhaps we can entice Yolanda and Kevin to come back and join us just to be with that group of people. And then in April, we'll be talking about fostering intergenerational collaboration. I know that Matthew is probably busy dropping lots of things in the chat for you, but there will be a follow-up email with contact information and also with resources. And as always, we encourage you to connect with us on all of our social media channels and also via email. So thank you so much. Thank you to our speakers today. And, congratulations on the good work that UNCF does. Yes.
Could you, to the winners, could you please ask them to put their t-shirt size?
Oh,
Please?
sure. Yeah, I can ask them that on the side because I know both of
Please.
them. So I'll drop them an email and we'll get that information
Thank
to
you.
you. So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so thanks everyone. I wish you a really wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Thanks for being here with us today. Great rest of your week. And again, thank you to our speakers and have a great rest of the day. Thanks everyone.